Hey y'all, welcome back to Sidewinder Shed. And as you can see, tonight we're out in the shed. It's Saturday night. What is this? The 18th, I believe. November, something like that. 18th, 19th. God, I've lost track of time. Anyway, we are back in the shed. And as you can see, I'm not holding the camera. No, I did not find my other tripod. Yes, my original tripod is still broken. What I have here is the wife picked me up a small stand with, believe it or not, a light on it at work. It was on sale, so she picked it up for me at work, and I I opened it up, lost half the pieces 2 weeks ago, and finally scrounged up enough old parts here to make it work. So we're going to give this a little bit of a shot. Again, as you all know, I do these videos as a hobby and everything. And again, sometimes life gets in the way. Not only that, but as I've said before, I'm a friggin' idiot. I had two real nice videos. One was for degreeing the cam, which I did on this 360 engine. Not a big deal. There's plenty of people out there that show better videos than me, but I wanted to show that I did it. It can be done by an idiot if you follow the directions. Everything that CompCam sent me has the directions on it. I followed them right to the T. As a matter of fact, I degreed that cam 4 times just to make sure I wasn't screwing up. And it came out almost to the T every 4 times. Oh, well, each time. So I'm sure the cam was ground right, timed right. Everything is fine with the camshaft. The second one I had, which I thought was kind of interesting and it would be kind of funny, was when I was doing the valve clearance. Normally I did the old clay type. What you do is you take a piece of clay, usually modeling clay, you put it on top of the piston, you spray the valves with a little bit of oil so it don't stick, you put the head on with or without a gasket. Normally you can do it without the gasket. You just have to remember you have 30-40 thousandths extra clearance. And you turn the engine over so that the valves open and close. And I actually have these little springs that were on the valves, so I don't have to worry about cranking the engine over too hard or doing any damage or messing anything up. You can do it with the regular valves, but it's a lot easier with these. You can do it with the regular springs. These are a lot easier. Okay. And what that does is that will leave an imprint in the clay of how far down the valves, how much they open and how far they come to the piston. And what you do is you take the head off, and right where your marks are for your valves, the imprints that they leave in the clay, you cut it with the razor knife, whatever, and you measure it, and that will tell you whatever is left. That'll give you the clearance, how much clearance you have. You know what else works, but you have to be careful because it's a lot softer? Play-Doh. I did mine with Play-Doh. My grandson was playing with some Play-Doh, and I was like, ooh, I can use that. So I asked him nicely, I said, hey Max, can I borrow some of your Play-Doh? He goes, sure, Pop, no problem. He said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to use it on my engine. He said, well, do you mind using the pink? That's not my favorite color. I said, that's fine, Max, because I'm probably going to ruin it anyway. You're not going to get this little chunk of Play-Doh back. He was fine with that. I didn't think about it till later. That wasn't actually his Play-Doh that I borrowed. That was my niece's. So she was okay with it anyway. But that was all on video. I want to show you those two videos. But being the old fart that I am, being the moron that I am, and this has happened before and it really irks me. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did with the videos. They're not on the phone anymore. And that's all I use. I don't use a camera because I don't have an actual computer to download and edit and then upload. I have a camera, but unlike the phone, it doesn't connect directly to the interweb here where I can put it on YouTube. So I don't have a computer that I can download the video on. So I'm stuck with these and using the phone, and it's a nice phone and it does pretty good. But unfortunately, I use it every day too. And again, I'm an idiot. So I lost those two videos, and I'm not about to take the engine apart again just to do this. Speaking of the engine, pardon me for a second. Speaking of the engine though, it's 95% together. There's only a couple things I need to do, and that is the distributor, water pump gasket. You know, there's a few little things here and there. Some gaskets, air cleaners, you know, but it's pretty much together. When I show it to you here, the only thing coming apart again will be the intake manifold, so I can put the gaskets in and seal them up right. That's actually the only thing coming off. The heads, the water pump. Gonna put a different water pump on it. But other than that, the engine's all together. So y'all hang tight for me for a minute, and we'll see about showing you the engine. All right, so here we go. We got the engine covered up, and let me go ahead and untie this and unwrap it for you. All right, guys, let's pull the cover off of this. And there we go. There's Barney. The purple engine. Plum crazy purple. And yep, good. The light's showing it pretty good. Everything on here is purple. Yeah, I still got to get some bolts for the exhaust. I am going to run the Magnum exhaust on this. And she's getting there though. She's almost there. She's looking pretty good. And the next step on this engine, which will be, it'll be a little while. But honestly, I got a friend of mine that's going to come over, and we're going to go ahead. Let me put you back down here where I can talk to you a bit. Hopefully I won't unplug anything. Got a buddy of mine, Doogie. Big help. He's one heck of a fabricator and metal worker. He really is good. Excellent, excellent welder. Big help when I built the camper. Well, he's come up with an idea because we're going to make an engine run stand. All right, test stand, run stand, whatever. Because again, this is not a plaything engine that I'm building, this is a necessity. My truck is getting old. The engine on it's getting tired. 270,000 miles, 30-year-old vehicle, but it's my daily driver, and I work it. I treat it like a truck. This is not one of those, hey, it's loaded with everything and it's a comfy ride and I bought it to be status symbol. No, I put this thing to work. I use this truck as a truck. And again, that's why I like the old vehicles, because other than the fact it's old, very few problems with it. Okay, and I know how to fix them. I can do that myself. I can't stand to give somebody $700-800 to figure out a problem and then fix it when I know I can do it myself on an older vehicle. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's just me. But my point being is, this is a necessity, this engine, so I can keep this truck going for another 20 years. So before I put this engine in the truck, I don't want to go through a week's worth of swapping the engines over and then finding out that this thing blows up on me a week after having it, either because of something I did wrong, or, you guys know nowadays, bad parts straight out the box. Okay? I don't want to deal with that. So we're going to get an engine run stand built, and probably after the new year, probably in about a month or two, I'm going to crank this engine up here in the shed, and I'm going to run it. Now I don't have to. It's a roller cam engine, so I don't have to worry about breaking in the cam. So I don't have to run it at 2,000 RPMs for 20 minutes or so, but still got to break the rings in and everything. But what I do want to do is run the damn thing, make sure it works and there's no problem with it before I put it in the truck. Because then when I put it in the truck, I'll know the engine itself is good. And if I can't get the damn thing started, if it don't want to work in the truck, well, I know there's something with the truck, the wiring, the fueling, something there that I haven't figured out. Because again, it's a 1992, and I'm bypassing the ODB1 computer. All right, the ODB1 brain box on that operates a few things. One, the throttle body fuel injection. All right, I got rid of that. I'm going with the carburetor with a manual choke. That way I'll be the only one that can start it. Two, it adjusts the timing, the ignition timing and everything. So I still have electronic ignition, but it has a vacuum advance on it. The one with the ODB1 doesn't have a vacuum advance on it, and the wiring's a little different, but I'll be bypassing that. Third thing that it takes care of too is the voltage regulator on the alternator. Easy enough. I'm actually looking for an old point style voltage regulator. If I can't get a hold of one of those that I feel comfortable with, I will go with electronic. Not a big deal. Worst case scenario, like everyone else does, I'll throw a GM one on it and wire it that way. Not a big deal. The fourth thing that it really operates is I have an electronic overdrive transmission. Fortunately, my brother-in-law, who's in New Hampshire right now, but he's been doing transmissions for 30 years. He has given me two options where I can bypass the computer and have that transmission kick in and kick out of overdrive when I want it to. One's a simple way. One's a little bit more involved. I'll get into that when I actually do it. But this is one of the reasons why I want to get the engine run stand built, and we'll probably, I won't video the whole thing. Doogie's not big on being on the videos, but I'll show you steps as we go along and get it fixed and get it built. And again, talking about old parts and everything, something I never would have done 20 years ago. And that's reusing the lifters. 20 years ago, I never would have even, I wouldn't have given it a thought. I would have said, I'm building an engine from the bottom up, doing a complete rebuild. I'm getting brand new lifters. I don't trust them. Even the hydraulic roller lifters. I can't trust them anymore. I've heard too many horror stories. I've seen too many times. They have been marked as brand new. They weren't. They fail. They will not stay pumped up. Believe it or not, the ones that came out of this engine, when I took it apart in June, they're still pumped up. They didn't bleed down, okay? Those should be good lifters. If not, I know the 16 I have in the engine right now that I'm using are good lifters. I also know the 16 others that I have out of a Magnum, and they're the exact same lifters, are good as well. So I do have extra lifters. But again, seeing as I'm not racing this engine or anything, it'll be a pain in the ass if one fails, but it shouldn't cause any damage. I just have to figure out what one it's going to be and replace it with another old one. It's a sad shape that this country has gotten into now, where you can't trust anything straight out the box. My last video, that fuel pump really irritated me. It just, you can't trust anything anymore. There's no pride. Well, the stuff's not made in this country anymore. And even in this country, it's just very few people take pride in their work. They just go to work to make money so they can go out and have fun. That's it. Nothing wrong with that. But you should take pride in your job. Take pride in the quality of what you make, no matter what it is. And, you know, a lot of it's our own fault. Here I am. I'm bitching, moaning, complaining about it. But 15 years ago, when I could order that new part, and it worked, and it cost half the price because it was made in Taiwan, Japan, or whatever, didn't bother me. Now all the stuff's made in China. My father, God rest his soul, really believed in paying more for something that was made in America. All right, he was one of the guys that, if y'all are old enough to remember that old commercial, had the little jingle. Look for the union label when you are buying a home or a car. Well, that meant it was made in America. That meant these people took pride in what they did. And I saw that too growing up. I lived next to a GM plant. No matter what them guys were doing at that GM plant, had a few, all they did was install a steering wheel. But man, they were proud of what they did. They were proud of that product. It isn't around anymore. We're getting on 20 minutes here, so I know I'm babbling. I'll let you all go. I just wanted to show you what was up with the engine. And the next few videos are probably going to be with some woodworking, because the wife has a few projects for me to do. And I got to get the shed switched over from automotive to woodworking. That's going to take a little bit of time. But anyway, y'all have a good weekend. Y'all take care, and happy Thanksgiving. Y'all have a good Thanksgiving. Y'all take care.